What's up, y'all? Talon here. Today I'm back with another series of battles featuring new teams in the Regulation F metagame. Today I'm excited to be sharing a team created by Ryoto Otsubo, the 2017 World Champion. Really cool team featuring all of the new Johto past Paradox Pokemon, those being Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, and Walking Wake. I used Raging Bolt and Gouging Fire in the last video with kind of some weirder sets. These feel a little more consistent, and I'm excited to be trying those out. And we're also featuring the Walking Wake, which is still an event restricted Pokemon where you only have it for the limited Tera raids. I'm not sure if they'll be making it more permanently available and thus not really in the weird nebulous restricted mythical type Pokemon that have been available in the past. But hopefully it's available in the Regulation F format. We will be learning about that in a couple of days. So once that does happen, we'll be a little bit more certain about what we can use in Regulation F. But for now, we're just kind of assuming everything. So really excited to try Walking Wake while that is still at least a possibility. So if you want to try the team for yourself, I have the rental code in the top right of the video, as well as a Pokepaste that I extracted from this rental code in the with the EV spreads in the description below. If you appreciate the effort it took to do that, please subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, let's get into a breakdown of the team. So starting out from a high level, this is a Sun team. The Whimsicott carrying the Sunny Day along with the Tailwind is mainly for supporting the rest of the team. You also have a Torkoal with Drought, and it's really playing on the really powerful Protosynthesis abilities that Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, and Walking Wake have. You kind of expect the Paradox Pokemon, for the most part in the past metagames, to basically just be really powerful Pokemon with excellent move pools and stats. But with this last metagame, we saw Sunny Day effective with the Flutter main, and we have a lot more powerful of the past Paradox Pokemon. Before, it was more or less just the Roaring Moon and the Flutter main that were able to take good advantage of Boost Energy and sometimes Sun. But these ones I think are way stronger. They synergize a lot better with the Sun, particularly Gouging Fire. You obviously get enhanced fire type damage on your stab moves, and Walking Wake's Hydro Steam. Basically, yeah, Hydro Steam does not get weakened in Sun. It actually gets boosted up to a 120 base power move, which is really cool. I also confirmed that the Walking Wake is actually not special attack boosting, it is speed boosting. So that can be really important in the mirror, or just like getting Sun up on being able to go for a basically outspeed some of its counters and knock them out before they can hit you. Raging Bolt is a pretty cool set. It's taking advantage of the natural bulk on the Pokemon, not going too speedy, just enough speed to outspeed, I believe, Iron Bundle at max speed. So outspeeding everything in Tailwind, but outside of that, you do have the Thunderclap to outspeed some things that are a bit quicker. The bulk on this Pokemon is really incredible with all the HP stat invested into this thing. It's really going to be taking a lot of hits, especially with Assault Vest. And if you get into a weird situation where you're against like a fairy type that would otherwise be able to do a lot of damage, Flutter main in particular, you do have the Tera Fire to be able to go for that and hit it with a Stab, Weather Ball, and Sun and do a ton of damage that way. The Gouging Fire is a pretty interesting set. It obviously has a ton of power, but it also offers some support with the Choice Scarf, Breaking Swipe, Choice Scarf, or the Protosynthesis plus the Fire type, and the Heat Crash and Flare Blitz means you're doing really crazy damage to any neutral target in the Sun, along with the Protosynthesis attack boost. And then the Double Kick is interesting because it's basically good damage into Incineroar, which otherwise can take your hits pretty well, and also is a guaranteed knockout into Chien-Pao. The first hit bringing it down close to Sash, or if not to Sash entirely, and then the second one knocking out. That's a pretty cool combo there. Walking Wake, as I mentioned before, it is the speed boosting one, so it is a Life Orb Tera Steel set. So if you get the speed boost, you can actually if Sun is up and Tailwind is not up, you can get the speed boost, go for Life Orb, Tera Blast with the Tera Steel and knock out any fairy type like Flutter main. That can be a pretty cool surprise. And then obviously Hydro Steam benefits a lot from the Sunny Day, and then Draco Meteor is just a generally strong nuke option with the Life Orb. Whimsicott is pretty simple. It's just a Tailwind Sunny Day Protect set, all good support moves. We're not Covert Cloak, so you want to have Protect in case someone leads Fake Out. You don't want to be just sitting on the field and basically get doubled into by Fake Out plus any strong move. Whimsicott, not known for its bulk, and this one is max speed, max special attack, timid, so really can't take any hits that would otherwise be really strong. So you really do need to protect if you're not Covert Cloak or Tera Ghost. And then it is a Tera Fairy Moonblast, just in the odd situation where you do need the power, you can go for that power boost and hit a strong Moonblast. Not much to comment on for the Torkoal. It is a min speed max HP one with Tera Fire, Eruption, Heat Wave, and Charcoal. Clear Smog is of some interest. I think that's mainly to handle Dondozo or any other setup sweepers that could otherwise be a problem for the team. But I think the Torkoal usually will probably be going for the Sunny Day option with the Whimsicott to get Sun up for the partners. Really, the Torkoal, in my opinion, is probably here to handle other Trick Room teams, basically You don't have a really proactive way to stop other Trick Room, and you are so fast and strong on this team. You want to have some options in Trick Room, so you just bring your own Trick Room Sweeper, and hopefully you don't lose the speed tie against their Torkoal, and you can go for a really strong Eruption and basically clear out the rest of their team with that. Corviknight is the last, and I think it's actually a pretty smart pick in this metagame. Against Incineroar with that usage climbing up, you do outspeed it and are able to get an Iron Defense up, at which point you're basically taking neutral damage from the Flare Blitzes. After that, you're able to go for a Tera Dragon if you don't even want to take that much damage from the first Flare Blitz, and then be taking really little damage. And after the first Iron Defense, I'm not sure if it's a straight up knockout on Incineroar, but it's definitely going to be pretty close to it with a little bit of chip, so really think that's a cool option in this metagame. And then the Iron Head, it compares well with Mirror Armor just because you can't be intimidated, so that is also a consistent damage source against things that are Ghost type and would otherwise be immune to your main damage force, which would otherwise be immune to your main damage source. Roost is the last one, just for some consistent healing. You aren't left over, so you do need to be able to heal on this setup set, and overall, really interested to see how many Incineroar we can handle with that. Obviously, Torkoal, Whimsicott, Gouging Fire, and Raging Bolt kind of seem a little tenuous against it, so I do think the Corviknight is actually going to be picking up a fair amount of slack, even though it kind of looks a little wonky on Team Preview. So that will do it for our team breakdown of Ryoto Otsubo's past Paradox Pokemon Tailwind Sun team. It's going to be a pretty interesting set of battles. If you enjoy the team breakdown, you enjoy the videos, please subscribe to the channel. With all that being said, let's get into the battles now. Ooh, cool team for my opponent. Probably one of the strongest teams I've seen on the casual battle ladder. They have Archaludon, Entei, Urshifu, Landorus Incarnate Form, Tornadus, and Chien-Pao. So this team screams Rain Dance Torn to me. The Electroshot potential, Urshifu, and then max on the max speed, or goodness, max 100% accuracy on Sandshear Storm. God, okay. I do feel like this guy is traditionally the breaker of these sort of teams, but I think it's a little better late game, truthfully enough. Tera Dragon could be interesting, but I think overall isn't worth it. I do like the Walking Wake, and for what feels like maybe the 10th time when you're using this team, you do just bring the top 4. It is the most consistent 4, and even though they all share the Dragon type, haven't seen a lot of Flutter main. So if you're not playing against another Dragon type, we are here, but we do offer a lot of damage potential against it. I think maybe one thing I could do in the future, I am EV to outspeed Torn, but that is kind of weird because if I go for that, like they can go, I go Sunny Day first and then they can go for Rain Dance if that's like the turn order, which could be kind of difficult in a situation like this. Cool new throw animations. They go Torn Lando, totally fine. That is kind of weird for me. Like, it's a little dicey for sure. I kind of have to go Tailwind, unfortunately. I could go Tera Grass. That'd be interesting. I kind of expect them to go Rain Dance, truthfully enough. Am I going to get much value out of Steel type this game on Roaring, on a Walking Wake? Maybe. Probably not going to get a lot off of Fire typing on the other one. Yeah. Oops, not that. I think I'm going to go Tailwind plus Tera Grass Heat Crash into Torn. Nah, this kind of feels foolish. I'm going to go Sunny Day and do this. It's a bit of a read, but they have to go for Rain Dance for this to work. Wasn't I trying to cover them going for Rain Dance? I don't know. I don't think this is unless they go, if they go for Bleak Wind, like they could Sludge Bomb me, but I doubt it. I don't know. I feel fine about this. We're going for Sunny Day, acting first, of course. They'd have to be Choice Scarf for us not to. We're going to get the Protosynthesis boost. I think they could go for Rain Dance here, truthfully, but I think a Heat Crash will probably 2-hit KO anyways. They don't. They go for Bleak Wind. And they were not Focus Sash, which is why we went for that. Cool. So my thought was they can either go for Rain Dance or they can go for a double attack, which I thought was pretty safe. They go for Sludge Bomb and they are Sheer Force, so they cannot get a poison on us, thankfully enough. Yeah, so that's all working out perfectly. So I think that works against anything that is not the... Like if they went for Rain Dance, good, well played. That's the only play that works there outside of Protect Torn. And I thought them giving me the opportunity to go for both Tailwind and Sunny Day would be really foolish. So, okay, Entei is in. They are threatening a lot of damage into me. They're threatening extreme speed, so I can't get Tailwind up. Which I'm kind of fine with, right? I think I'm going to go Tailwind. The Landorus is actually not too big of a threat, I don't think. If they lock Sacred's Fire, that's fine. Is Landorus too much of a threat? I don't think so. But Entei definitely isn't, I want to say. Now with Roaring Moon in the back. So I think I'll go Tailwind. Okay, they protect the Lando, fair enough. That was a mistake on my part. Not heat crashing the Entei. I think it would have done a pretty big chunk. But now they get a Sacred Fire and knock me out straight up. So, bit of a wasted Tera, but given the play coverage on the first turn, I don't really regret making that play. They're going for Sacred Fire here. Good play, yeah. I think I made a bit of a mistake there, but it is what it is. It is what it is for sure. Entei a strong addition to these sort of teams, though, definitely. I think I'm going to go into this guy. The issue is they might knock me out. I think I'm going to go with a speed boost. That's really not good, is it? I think I'm going to double the Lando. They could Tera normal the Entei, though. I should probably cover for that. I think I'll double the Entei, honestly. Or double the Lando. They did just reveal Protect. They went for Sacred Fire, and I feel like on these teams they're most likely to be Choice Banded. So they're probably going to try and lock into Extreme Speed later in the battle. So what I've gone for is Moonblast, Strain Steam into the Lando, because I kind of expect it to go for a Tera. And without special attacking boosting on my Protosynthesis, I really think they'll live the Walking Wake Hydro Steam if I don't get a little bit of chip with Moonblast. Yep, and it's going to be pretty close to the knockout, but we did cover it with the Moonblast, and very critically, they went for a Tera to do that, so now they are unable to Tera their Entei, which I think is super good. I think them switching out there almost confirms to me they were not... like they were choice banned, because otherwise you could lock into a Tera normal extreme speed, live the Hydro Steam, all that jazz. Now I feel pretty confident we have a safe Protect Hydro Steam into the Entei. We played this pretty aggressively, but I think we're starting to come out on top. They canceled the battle, yeah. I do think we had knockout into Entei. Even with extreme speed, they shouldn't have had a knockout into us, and then they probably extreme speed bite into my Whimsicott. We survived that. If they Draco Meteor my Walking Wake, we have the Thunderclap boy in the back just going for Dragon Pulse plus Moonblast should have closed it out for us. So pretty happy with the play in that game. I do think Whimsicott can traditionally have an issue with Tornadus Tailwind teams, but with some aggressive play we were able to get the better of it this time. Alright, opponent here has another strong Tailwind team. They have Torn, Gouging Fire, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, Thunderclap, Raging Bolt, Incineroar. We might finally have a battle where Corviknight is good, kind of. Really good against Rillaboom, really good against Incineroar, but not so strong against the others. Interesting. I do love Gouging Fire. So strong, but a little maybe weak to the Incineroar. Let's think. Walking Wake is my best option against some of their Pokemon. I feel like we could survive surprise them with a Strange Steam. That'd be pretty good. I don't know. I do feel like I probably need to play a little aggressive here. They don't have Urshifu, so I'm actually kind of questionable on the value of Raging Bolt. So I think my approach here is actually going to be Walking Wake on lead for once, and then basically I don't want the Incineroar just switching in and ruining my life on that Gouging Fire, so I want to have the Walking Wake in early, get Sunny Day up, get Tailwind up. I think they probably also have Sunny Day on Torn, but I think the goal here is knock out everything that's not Incineroar and get the Corviknight going. And they go Flutter Mane plus Torn. Okay. Let me run a quick calc. I do believe this is a free Dazzle for them, like they think it is. But fortunately, we have a good defensive type for that. Let's look at how much Terra Steel Terra Blast does. Honestly, it might not knock out, but we gotta try. Oh no, I had a special attack boosting. Unfortunate. If they're max HP, we don't have a knockout here. Might just have to go for it though. I think I do have to go for Tailwind. I don't want to risk anything against them. I'm just going to go Terra Steel, Terra Blast, try and take the knockout, and if we don't, we don't. It is what it is. If they are a... Yeah, this is one of the situations where I think I would probably rather be a modest Walking Wake instead of timid, because we would have the knockout with this, whereas now it's like kind of dicey. We do move first with Tailwind, of course, and we'll see what they go for. They go for Taunt, which is interesting. Obviously, I'm moving faster, but maybe they expected a bulky Whimsicott. We get the Terra Blast off, so we're getting that damage at least. It's going to be easily cleaned up by a back Pokemon. We throw the big steel at them. And yeah, that's fine. Focus Sash is out. We do take a bit of damage, and they go for Dazzling Gleam. That doesn't feel... Wait, were they Focus Sash? They might have been Focus Sash, I don't know. I think that was just Life Orb damage we took, actually. So they get an offset Tailwind up, unfortunately. That is annoying for sure. The taunt's quite annoying. I wonder what we should do here. We could Preserve. I think I'm leading Preserve on this guy and then go for a Hydro Steam into Flutter. Like, it'd be really good if we could go for Sunny Day still and we had matched Tailwinds, because then we could activate the Protosynthesis speed boost and outspeed and knock out the Flutter. It is unfortunate it just barely lived. I think it's very unlikely we outspeed them with our Walking Wake, unfortunately. They let go another Dazzling Gleam, which is fine. They are slowly chipping us down with Life Orb and all that. But we do take Flutter, and we preserve Whimsicott to go Tailwind another day. They pretty much can't bring in the Incineroar. It'd be so bad if they did. They are threatening Taunt, though. Electro Boy's in. They can go for Sunny Day, and they probably will. Air Balloon's kind of interesting. Air Balloon's very interesting. I wonder if Thunderclap's a knockout here. I think I probably should not tempt my fate too hard. Going for Terra Steel does weaken me considerably to this. Thunderclap really might knock me out. That could be a problem. For sure. Thunderbolt definitely knocks out this guy, so I think I'm going to switch Protect, actually. They've been playing pretty strong. If I had to guess, I think they're going to go for maybe Sunny Day Thunderclap That feels pretty safe. I'm not threatening knockouts with Corviknight. Yeah, I just kind of feel like that's what I would go for in that situation. They get Sunny Day up. Unfortunately, I just don't have any way to hit them at any point. They go for Thunderclap. Might have been a knockout. That's fine. Heat Wave, very interesting. Okay. Thunderclap. Walking Wake has like passable bulk. It's not great, unfortunately, though. I think I'm going to go Breaking Swipe. I kind of want the Corvin. Bit of a weird spot. Heat Crash is going to be questionable. Probably not a knockout, but pretty close to one on the Torn. But I think the Breaking Swipe damage might be necessary here. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to attack into the... they go for Tera here. If they're... Tera Fairy is going to be an issue, actually. Tera Fairy is a big issue. Oh, Tera Electric. Okay, so they're trying to lock down the knockout. Which is fine. I should be getting... It's not great, though. Oh, they did not attack. Interesting. They didn't Thunderclap. Okay, that's good. They were making a defensive read there, which is fine. We're going Draco. I doubt it knocks out, unfortunately. Yeah. If we had gone for Flare Blitz, we could be good. Now Heat Wave Draco is probably sufficient for them, so it was a good defensive Tera on their part. Not even going for the Thunderclap, making a read, I would have like, I don't know, Outrage, Dragon Claw, something like that. Which in that circumstance would have been fine, but I think I needed, yeah, Dragon Pulse, fair enough. I think that's probably a knockout. Sun isn't up, so it's going to be a little close, but yeah, they do get it. That's an issue for sure. Tailwind peters out and they have one more turn, so I think they played the Tailwind Mirror excellently there. I think it did turn out that the Corv was worse than the Raging Bolt in that situation. I could have gone for Thunderclap here, taken a knockout, but unfortunately not the case. I think I kind of have to go Tailwind, Body Press, and even then, like, I can't really beat the Torn with Heat Wave, so I think they played this very well. Definitely have to learn how to play this mirror, though. They go for Thunderclap, they're gonna clap my my Corviknight. Yeah, that was kind of foolish on my part to even bring the Corv when I had such suspect ways to immediately deal with the Raging Bolt on their part. Definitely a Pokemon that you have to learn how to play against, and just didn't quite have it this time. Okay, cool team. Very rain-oriented. They have the Archaludon, they have Kingdra, Mousehold, Ogerpon, Water, Politoed, and Rillaboom. So, pretty strong team from my opponent, but I do think Sun is definitely super valuable for us. I think the Whimsicott definitely coming in the lead slot. Now the question is, how do I capitalize on the rest of their Pokemon? I feel like to an extent, Corviknight could be strong. It's actually pretty weak against Archaludon. Even if they're taking a couple turns to load up on the Electro Shot, like if I set up Sun, the next turn, like I have to tear it out of the weakness regardless, and then they can hit me with a Draco Meteor the next turn, so I don't like that. So on lead, I feel like, honestly, Walking Wake is pretty tempting just for the damage. I think I'm a fan of the Paradox Entei as well. I may just go Walking Wake though. It's a bit weak to Rillaboom though, so I think my first gut was right on this one. And then Thunderclap isn't that valuable. I like Walking Wake under Tailwind conditions, and then I don't know if I got it in. My gut was saying Corviknight over Raging Bolt. Could be questionable, but I do think we'll be able to get Sun up and kind of annoy them. The Sunny Day is a little obvious, but if they're not ready for it, it's going to throw a big wrench in their game plan. I do feel like if I can get an Iron Defense up, I'm taking knockouts left and right against their team. It's just a matter of keeping Sun up, I think. So having the defensive switch into the Corviknight could be pretty valuable. Archaludon plus Mousehold, that could be like a population bomb setup, honestly. That wouldn't surprise me by any means. I do have a guaranteed outspeed onto it. So what I'm thinking of doing is just going... Could go Tera Grass, honestly. That'd be interesting. I wonder if double kick's a knockout. Probably not, if I had to guess. But I'm pretty sure outspeed Mousehold, I want to say. I'm pretty sure I do, but I'm not certain about it. And Heat Crash is definitely a knockout, but then I'll be a little weak to... I don't know. Pretty interesting spot, I'd say. I could go Tera Grass. I'm not... I think Tera Steel could be good later in the game. Huh. I think what I'm actually going to go for is Sunny Day Heat Crash into the mouse. I'm going to bet on them not being Focus Sash. If they are, got me. Well done. We'll see. They're going for a Tera on their Archaludon, so good to get that out of the way early. They've gone for Tera Fairy, which is a good reveal for me because I am Tera Steel Walking Wake in the back. And Iron Head Corv, of course. They don't switch in anything on the Mousehold, so I probably did have a knockout with Moonblast Heat Crash, but if they're not Focus Sash, we will still get that knockout, so I'm not too worried. But let's see. It wasn't Focus Sash, so easy peasy lemon squeezy. Mousehold very, very frail and very light, obviously. They go for Flash Cannon into the Whimsicott. Totally fine with that, with how that played out. I do think it was likely a Stamina Body Press setup. They are Life Orb, which is good. We revealed that they are not Life Orb, most notably. I feel like at this point I don't really need... Like, I don't need them. So I'm switching out. I'm pretty sure Heat Crash isn't going to do that much to Archaludon. But what I am looking for here is maybe a Dragon move, maybe a... yeah. What my main concern was there, like, I feel like Politoed is just the obvious switch in, so they brought in the Kingdra just like trying to be tricky. But yeah, I'm not biting. I think they could very easily go for Draco Meteor into the Corviknight slot, and I don't want that going down. They do indeed, so it turns out having this Steel type in the back was very valuable. The Archaludon now chipped down to 80% and really hating its life. I think I'm going to go right for a Sunny Day and an Iron Head. They're probably going to try and boost up, I'd say. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take some damage onto Archaludon. Yeah, I think that feels correct. Maybe? Roost might be better. I guess if they lock into that, that's fine. So they're -2, but they could get back up pretty quickly. I think Sunny Day feels fair. And I think I'll go for Iron Defense. I don't think they're applying a lot of pressure, and I should have the opportunity to get a Roost up, unless they Encore me. So Kingdra's out, which means Politoed is in, and we guaranteed get at least 2 turns of Sun, because they'd have to switch it out and then back in to end it. We're getting the Iron Defense off, very good. Starting to look a little difficult for them to take knockouts quickly. They go for Hydro Pump, which, yeah, you know, 80% to take 1 HP, I'll definitely take those odds and that trade. But now they're like very, very threatened by Body Press, and honestly, I don't have a knockout into Kingdra yet, but I feel like... So the issue with the Gouging Fire is, unfortunately, I don't have a strong Dragon move. I do have a Dragon move, but I need a bit of chip onto the Kingdra for it to be a knockout. I have preserved my Tera, that's valuable. I want to go for... I feel like Hydro Steam into the... Like, the Politoed, in my opinion, has to switch. I guess they are still at neutral on the Kingdra. I might have made a mistake there. But I think they're very incentivized to switch out the Politoed. Okay. Guess not. Regardless, I think we should have a knockout with Hydro Steam plus Body Press, and yeah, that does a big chunk. Body Press is going to be a little close, but I think we'll get it. And, oh, not even close actually, my bad. Outrage Kingdra. Into the Corviknight, get a little bit bailed there, but I think that was a little questionable just because by going that, I feel like they make things really easy for my Gouging Fire. I just go for a Tera, and now that they've done that, I guess I should have gone for a Tera this turn, truthfully enough. That was an oversight. But yeah, now we just Hydro Steam, Body Press, and we're kind of just chilling. Yep, they are switching out the Politoed, but we're going to catch that with the Hydro Steam and also get a Roost for our troubles, so definitely fine with that trade. They'll get Rain back up, but with the physical Kingdra against the Iron Defense Corv, I am fine. And going for the Tera this turn, no reason to worry about anything really, and we should be able to close this out with the Corviknight, especially with the Kingdra being physical. The Politoed probably doesn't even outspeed the Corviknight, and this Hydro Steam should at least put this Archaludon, yeah, very low special defense. Was going to say at least into another Life Orb tick range, but not even that, unfortunately for them. But they did have a lot of awesome power from the Archaludon, but unfortunately they wasted their turns going for resisted hits and taking HP on the Whimsicott when, yeah, you really want a bit more value out of your Pokemon there. 2 Outrage hits into Steel types, not the value you wanted the Kingdra either, and it doesn't even have the courtesy of waking it or snapping into Confusion, because then you could at least change your move. Now we have a pretty safe Draco Body Press, and that should close things out, honestly. Yep, Draco, if we hit, is going to win it, and Body Press into Politoed looks pretty solid as well. Yeah, they do cancel out. So looking back, I do think the Corviknight bring ended up being pretty good. We got into a position against the Archaludon. If they had Draco'd the first turn, that would have been a little annoying, but it would have overall been fine because they were at -2, and then we could just accelerate getting into the Walking Wake, which I think was the biggest threat through their team. But the one issue we could have had was the, yeah, I think looking back, definitely should have. They should have knocked out the Gouging Fire, and then we still then just pivot into the Walking Wake, go for a Tera Steel, and close from there. Well, another cool Rain team from my opponent. They have a Zapdos, Politoed, Nihilape, Alolan Muck, Archaludon, and Gliscor. A lot of Archaludon, definitely one of the more enticing Pokemon in the new DLC that people are interested in. Let's see what we can do about it. So, and of course, going to be pretty effective against Hurricane Zapdos, any Thunders, lowering the accuracy of those. Electro Shot. No Trick Room, so Torkoal is not that tempting unless we want to switch it in somehow, but I feel like they handle Torkoal pretty well defensively. I could see Iron Defense being valuable, but only if we're able to force a Tera out of a Bulk Up Nihilape. I think it's a Tailwind. The Tailwind mode is a little more tempting than anything else here. I actually like the Raikou, the Raging Bolt in the back a bit more, but I think this is definitely another Whimsicott angle. So we're going to start with the Whimsicott. We're going to go into... Do we go Gouging Fire or Walking Wake? Walking Wake seems to threaten a lot more immediately. I want to mix it up. I guess this actually isn't mixing it up, but I feel like what's cool about Gouging Fire is that if you're the Choice Scarf, you aren't reliant on going for Tailwind as much as you could be for another Pokemon to get the speed advantage. And you are the most benefited by any Pokemon on the team with Sunny Day because it boosts up your attack while also boosting up your stab. For example, I should probably learn my calcs, but I do feel like Zapdos is not that heavy? Question mark. I could see us having a weight advantage against the Zapdos, and I'm going to check that out just now. Sorry for any clicky clacking noises. Heat Crash. 120 base power. Yeah, this is going to be a clean knockout. Sorry, Zapdos. And they can't even burn me. Yeah, if they don't go for a defensive Tera, this Zapdos is definitely folding. Like 100%. Like I'm running the calc now. On like max defense Zapdos, there's like no shot. Yeah, it's very close to a knockout on max defense Zapdos, like max bold, but they do get static, unfortunately. That was the one weakness of that play, but you know, taking the Zapdos I think is just wholly worth it. They do get the Icy Wind off, so we can't just Tailwind to offset that speed drop, unfortunately, and outspeed the remaining Pokemon. We'll be at basically a neutral Entei under Tailwind, which may or may not be effective. Oh, Muck's definitely folding to Heat Crash under Tailwind. I'm not worried about that. We are chilling off that. I think we would just win the game on the spot. But yeah, that I do feel like that's very, very notable. Just like the power off this lead is so threatening if you're not ready for it on lead that even though it might be a little predictable, there's just not much you can do about it unless you have some really specific counterplay. I think Landorus and Incineroar are definitely like obviously going to be effective against it, but there's definitely variations that you could do to handle that a bit better. Pretty sure we're actually not too strong against Archaludon in terms of Heat Crash. I need to look that up. How heavy is this guy? It's 120 versus Archaludon. That's so crazy. Okay. Ooh. Since Politoed's a relatively safe switch in, I want to bring in probably this guy earliest. The thing is, like, I can't just switch out the Entei, unfortunately, the Gouging Fire, because when Tailwind ends, I'll be pretty useless against the Politoed, or against a lot of the Pokemon. So I think I will go Tera Fire. I don't think is too effective for me here. I'm going to go Thunderbolt, Heat Crash. If we'd hit that turn, I think we do just win the game straight up, but I think Heat Crash is still going to do a fair amount of damage. Wait, what? Probably should have gone Dragon Pulse. That's my bad, but I think given the low special defense on this Pokemon, it's still going to do a lot. And I'm honestly thinking we should live a hit. I think we might even live a Draco unless they're Life Orb. That defense kind of suggests to me that they might be... How much is this doing? Oh, not a lot. Okay. Things might be getting dicey, actually. I think they might be Assault Vest. They're going for the Draco. We might live if they're not Life Orb. Yeah, we do. That's pretty good. That is very nice. And now I think we have a... Honestly, a Thunderbolt. Body Press is probably a knockout into me, unfortunately. Walking Wake is going to be pretty strong here, so I think I'm going to pivot out into that. I might be able to outspeed their back Pokemon once the Icy Wind is gone because of the Choice Scarf, even though I'm effectively 0.75 of the speed of a normal Entei. Yeah, if we had gone for a Dragon Pulse initially, we would have been fine, but we're at least chipping it into Strange Steam range. Just kidding, because they heal it off. Okay. I don't think Hydro Steam is going to be a knockout into it. They go Electro Shot. If they target it into the Entei, really good play. Yeah, they're going to be at -1. I think I'm fine, though. That's definitely not knocking out, and I truthfully don't think a Icy Wind will either. Okay. They did go for the Icy Wind, but I think I'm probably just going to pivot out the Raging Bolt here. I think I have to Draco Meteor into... Yeah, I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt into Politoed and then go for a Draco into this guy. If they go for Tera, they go for Tera, but yeah, they don't. We take the knockout, no Protect, and we should be getting a knockout on Politoed as well. Raging Bolt has a higher special attack stat than Flutter Mane, and although Politoed can be bulky, this special attack is pretty crazy, but they do actually live, and they get another Icy Wind off, but the main value, one of the main drawing points of the Raging Bolt is actually the Thunderclap, which takes advantage of basically even if we are not in advantageous speed conditions. So I think that's what we're gonna queue up here. We're gonna Thunderclap into you and switch out into the Gouging Fire. Basically resetting our special attack drops to clean up this muck later on. Maybe drop some, yeah, we go for the Thunderclap, cool animation, and we knock out that Politoed. They were getting a little high on their horse, going for all those attacking moves in front of the Gouging, God, Raging Bolt. I hate the Paradox name so much, as an aside, but yeah. We're going Thunderclap, outspeeding that and getting a Breaking Swipe off if we're able to attack. We are not, very nice, but I think with Rain boosted Strange Steam in the back and a Terra Steel still in tow, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll make it happen. And we do see there a Black Sludge. Yeah, the Hydro Steam's an interesting move because it's equal power, 120 in both Sun and Rain. So it's a really strong Pokemon in Weather Wars for that reason. Like, if your opponent's trying to set up Rain, okay, whatever, I'm still taking my boosted Strange Steams. And if it's in Sun, okay, 120 base power Strange Steams, chillin'. And this is one of those instances where we kind of lost the Weather War, in a sense, with some poor luck, but we're still in fine shape. We do finally attack and get our Breaking Swipe off, and even though it's a pretty weak move, we are able to clean up with a single target Breaking Swipe. Alright, opponent here has... interesting. Alright, I feel like this is the team from the Wolf Invitational that Jaden Animations played with. Like, otherwise I don't... yeah, and this matches up with Series A, so I think that's what that is. So, gonna see some of the new behemoths coming up against the old ones, so that'll be pretty interesting. Feel like I could double kick Meowscarada, that'd be funny. I do threaten a lot with this guy. They have no fake out though. I could take advantage of that, and I think I will press that advantage. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna lead with this guy, maybe go for Sunny Day. I don't remember. I wanna say, is it Bulk Up or Final Gambit on the Annihilate? I don't remember. But, I mean, it can only take one knockout if it's Final Gambit, so I'll prepare for the alternative. I don't really think I need... like, Thunderclap. The coverage from this guy is not that valuable this game, I think. I'm going to go with the Corviknight, just because it covers a lot of their Pokemon. It covers Hydreigon pretty well, outside of them going for a fire move. But I think I should be able to handle it fine. The Hydreigon's kind of like bringing it against 3 dragon types and a fairy type, a little sus. Alright. Series F, or Regulation F versus Series A. Series 1, rather. Okay, Toedscool, Meowscarada. Interesting. I think I can pretty safely just go Moonblast, Breaking Swipe. Heat Crash is almost certainly a knockout into Toedscool, though. I kind of want to go Sunny Day. Heat Crash honestly seems fine. And a Meowscarada. Yeah, they go Rage Powder, so it's not going to matter. I guess maybe it's better for me to go Heat Crash, take the knockout. I feel like they're Focus Sash, though. I don't know. I just wanted to get the sun up. I'll probably want that up at any point. So getting it up now works. It also guarantees the knockout. I think it probably would have knocked out even if they had gone for a neutral defensive Tera. So that was more what I was covering for. Goes for the knockoff, so they're knocking off my Choice Scarf, but given I can go for Tailwind and I'm like not too upset about switching moves, I'm fine with this. I wonder if a double kick actually knocks them out. Ooh, I would really bet that it does. So I think I'm actually going to go for a Moonblast. I could go Terra Fairy. I don't anticipate Terra Steel being too valuable. I think just normal Moonblast is probably fine, though. And for the content, your boy's going to go for the double kick. You hate to see it. Okay, we probably had a knockout with a Oh, they were Choice Scarf, so that's good to confirm. With a critical hit, they actually almost knock us out, but I think we're going to trade for the Annihilate with the Moonblast, so that was a little cheeky on my part, not setting up Tailwind, but all in all, not too concerned about it. I think I will just go Moonblast into the Meowscarada if my Joy-Con can work. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Moonblast the... Right? What do I have to go for? Corviknight's going to beat the Meowscarada no matter what. Knockoff's a little annoying, but not... Like, Annihilate's kind of useless. I can pick it off no matter what at some point. So I think... Tailwind Breaking Swipe actually does the trick here, I think. Yeah, they were likely to go for Sucker Punch, but if they're locked into close combat, they're not really threatening my Whimsicott, and I'm fine just getting a Tailwind up. And we did confirm their Jolly Meowscarada because they outsped me with their Sucker Punch before I went for Tailwind. So yeah, we get that up, and now I'm pretty sure we're just threatening knockouts everywhere. Kind of wanting to go into the Corviknight here, handle the Meow Meow that way. Might just go for Iron Defense. Like, Flower Trick isn't going to do much damage until I give it Overgrow, so I'm not really worried about that slot. And they might just go for a defensive Protect. But yeah, these past Pokemon are definitely no slouch, and actually Meowscarada is kind of having a resurgence in single battles right now because of the access to some new moves like Triple Axle that kind of reinvigorate its play a bit. So, who knows, we could see that be the case, but yeah, they bring in Kingambit, so very glad we got this Iron Defense up. Things could go bad if we go for a Moonblast and lower their special attack though. Oh, but the damage is definitely worth it, even if we do get that, so that's fine. Running low on Tailwind turns, I believe, but I think we just have a knockout into the Kingambit with Body Press, so I'm not worried. They could go for double protect here, but I do feel pretty confident in the Corviknight's ability to close this game out. Thank you, beautiful game, for flashing the screen very brightly. Definitely appreciated. At some point, they'll figure it out. Yeah, the Corviknight is 95 speed, so we're actually 2 points slower than their Meowscarada in Tailwind, which is interesting. Think interesting decision not to Tera. You might have just had to go for it with the Kingambit, maybe your Swords Dance, but I kind of doubt the ability for Annihilate to close this game out, especially against the faster Walking Wake in the back. Yeah, I don't see an out for them, unfortunately. I'm just Moonblasting and Ironing Heading the Annihilate slot. There's no chance that it protects, so it's effectively doubling into either. Alright, and they are really trying to figure it out, and I do not think Protect on Meowscarada is what they were looking for. So yeah, this battle is kind of just a good example of, although the previous Pokemon definitely have some strengths, they even got a critical hit. They went for knockoff, critical hit, close combat, but just the pure stats on the new Pokemon, the new Paradox Pokemon, the home Pokemon, really just make it hard to compete with these monsters. So just a visceral reminder of that, essentially, that it is going to be very hard to use these past Pokemon. They do have their niches, they do have some advantages, but just the raw, like for example, Corviknight is Series 1 Pokemon, but unless you're like your advantages are very targeted and specific to the new dominant Pokemon, it's difficult to bring them. So that will do it today for our battles featuring this Sunny Day plus the past Paradox Pokemon from the Indigo Disc DLC. Team created by Ryoto Otsubo, the 2017 World Championship. I have his Twitter linked in the description, as well as the rental code along with the Pokepaste, including the EV spreads for this team if you want to take it on the ladder. I think it's a really aggressive team with a lot of really cool options. What stood out most to me was the Gouging Fire, Choice Scarf Heat Crash plus Prankster Sunny Day Elite on Whimsicott. If you're not playing against another Sun team or another team with speed control, you just immediately outspeed and take a knockout for the most part into anything that doesn't resist. I think I could definitely see some holes, like The matchup against Incineroar, you were a little scared to bring the Gouging Fire. Felt like you could lose a lot of resources very quickly. I did find myself a little, against the other dragon types like Archaludon and Raging Bolt, there were definitely situations where I was like, okay, I really have to get every turn right here, but beyond that, I think this team does a lot right, especially early in the format. Experiments with a lot of really cool concepts, so if you want to try that out. Again, all that information in the description. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel, and with all that being said, peace y'all.